In April 2026, police made a grim discovery in the dense forests of Mirzapur. Wrapped in a sack, hidden among the dead leaves, was the brutalized body of a 27-year-old woman named Rakhi Kashyap. When authorities tracked down her immediate family to deliver the news, their reaction was startling. They showed absolutely no grief. In fact, they explicitly refused to claim her remains or perform her last rites. It is a jarring response. What could cause a humble, hard-working family to completely sever ties with their daughter, leaving her abandoned even in death? To her 11,000 followers on Instagram, Rakhi lived a life of constant luxury. Her feed was an endless stream of international flights, expensive hotels, and bold photo shoots where she posed with a licensed pistol. She actively weaponized this platform. She consistently painted herself as an innocent victim who had been deceived by men, skillfully manipulating her audience's empathy to build a highly loyal following. Her reality was entirely different. She came from a poor family and worked a low-paying contract job. That glamorous lifestyle was entirely funded by a shadow career of extortion. To understand how she operated and why she ultimately died, we have to look at a psychological profile known as the dark triad. This is a dangerous combination of three distinct personality traits. Her social media glamour was an illusion. It was camouflage for a predator who fed on human emotions to fund her lifestyle. This chart highlights the first two pillars of the triad, narcissism and Machiavellianism. In Rakhi's case, this meant an insatiable need to feel important, funded by calculating, fake relationships with wealthy men. Her primary target was a 37-year-old married professional named Vikrant, whom she trapped in a deceptive 3-year affair. Vikrant fell deeply into what psychologists call the sunk cost fallacy. As he poured more time, emotion, and money into the relationship, walking away felt increasingly impossible. The extortion escalated violently when Vikrant refused to sign over a property he had purchased in Mathura. Rakhi constantly threatened to completely ruin his personal and professional life, and eventually she set his car on fire. Her mastery of emotional manipulation had successfully taken a covert affair and turned it into a lethal hostage situation. This brings us to the final pillar, psychopathy. It is characterized by a complete absence of empathy or remorse, even for a partner of 3 years. Deciding that Vikrant was now more valuable dead than alive, Rakhi enlisted a local politician, Sudars Chauhan, and his friend Kapil to help eliminate him and seize his assets. On April 15th, they lured Vikrant to a flat under the pretense of making peace. There, Rakhi shot him 3 times with her licensed gun before the group systematically crushed his face to prevent anyone from identifying him. Under the cover of darkness, the killers loaded his disfigured body into a car and dumped it in a canal 130 kilometers away. The execution was the ultimate expression of the dark triad. Vikrant's life was treated as entirely disposable for personal gain. Rakhi spent years successfully manipulating human emotions, but she had no defense against the cold logic of machine data. After Vikrant's wife reported him missing, police pulled his call detail records. The logs showed he spoke with Rakhi more than anyone else, immediately placing her under investigation. Then came the first piece of undeniable digital evidence. GPS data revealed that on the night Vikrant vanished, his phone and Rakhi's phone were in the exact same location. Later that same night, investigators tracked Rakhi's specific cell tower pings, showing her phone moving directly toward Saharanpur. Armed with this movement data, police searched recent reports in the Saharanpur area. They quickly matched her coordinates to a previously unclaimed, disfigured body pulled from a canal, finally identifying it as Vikrant. Cold, unemotional algorithms had successfully shattered the psychological illusion Rakhi had spent years building. As the police began questioning Rakhi about Vikrant's disappearance, intense paranoia gripped her accomplices, Sudaris and Kapil. They realized she was a massive liability. To protect themselves, they decided to turn her own Machiavellian tactics against her. They invited her to a fake celebration, waited until she was heavily intoxicated, and then brutally slit her throat before dumping her body in the Mirzapur forest. The very same predatory opportunism she had weaponized against others was exactly what destroyed her. But the same digital dragnet that uncovered Rakhi's crime was still running, catching her killers too. Police analyzed Rakhi's phone right before it lost power. They discovered its final location perfectly matched Kapil Chauhan's GPS coordinates at that exact critical moment. This undeniable digital link gave authorities the evidence they needed to arrest Kapil, which quickly led to the capture of the mastermind, Sudaras. This cold reception from her family was the result of a 7-year estrangement. While her brother worked a small chow mein stall and valued his honesty, Rakhi chose a life of greed and extortion, a path her family found so intolerable they chose to live as if she didn't exist. Rakhi's life proves that a curated digital image can hide a predator, and a calculated personality can entrap those around them. But while she could manipulate the people in her life, she could not manipulate this signal data she left behind.